Hello everybody and welcome to Elgato Gaming. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the ZK383. I was actually streaming for a little bit and a few of the subscribers were pointing out that they'd like to see a best class setup for this weapon. Particularly I'm not a fan and I don't think most people are a fan of this weapon. But if you are going to use it, you're going to want a best class setup for this weapon. Basically what I used was extended mags, a reflex sight, and advanced rifling. And the main reason I use that reflex sight is because I'm not a fan of that iron sight at all. But if the iron sights don't bother you, you might want to swap that out for grip because it already has a built-in rapid fire built in. So right around this point in the match, I actually switched to that fast fire rate and I'll switch back. I think that actually helps significantly for the time to kill, but the recoil is a little bit tough to control. It's somewhere between the Thompson and the Urso with that recoil adjustment, especially since I'm using a reflex sight, which I never use on SMGs. A grip might be helpful if the iron sights again are not a problem. If you are enjoying the video so far, remember to hit that like button. I would love to hit 100 likes if we could possibly do that on the video. And if you are enjoying the content altogether and you'd like to stay up to date with future content, as far as my in-game updates, best class setups, tips to improve, and then also my subscriber breakdowns among other Call of Duty content, go ahead and make sure you subscribe with notifications on. So for anyone new to the channel, this is the part of the video where I typically like to break down my own gameplay using that best class setup that I talked about and kind of give you my thoughts and give you different tips and tricks along the way as I play, kind of giving you some of my mindset of what I'm thinking, how I'm moving around the map, and how I'm utilizing the weapon based off its strengths and weaknesses, because every weapon in the game is pretty much different, so you got to make sure you adjust to its strengths and weaknesses and kind of prepare yourself depending on how you're going to navigate the map. Right there, absolutely destroyed that guy, absolutely got outplayed. I was one shot, he comes around the corner, absolutely melt him. So this is something I typically do in the second half of my best class setup videos. So let's go ahead and get into the breakdown. So right here, with this weapon, it does have a lot of side-to-side recoil, so it's better to burst fire it in slow bursts, so maybe 6 to 8 shots at a time. You don't really want to unload like 20 all at once unless they're just really close. And you really want all your targets within that short to medium range. It's not a great SMG, it's an okay SMG. It's not even a good SMG, I would say, unless you can just absolutely land your shots. Time to kill feels really good when you have that rapid fire mode engaged. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of waiting. I was trying to see if they would come and kind of take the bait, wait for them to come around and I'd get an easy flank. Right there I get a little bit outgunned by a PPSH. And the PPSH outclasses this weapon in most different ways. A little bit more consistent, more accurate, and a lot easier to land your shots. So with this weapon, it can be useful. You can get good streaks, you can get good feeds. But definitely it was not happening until I put on the extended mags. So right here I'm trying to push around. I'm all about map control. So what I want to do is kind of flank around, try and get a couple kills, reposition, and then hopefully my teammates will be able to run right up mid and then go ahead and cap the ball. So right here again I get absolutely melted. And you can see I'm not doing anything crazy. I just get absolutely melted by a PPSH. You get absolutely destroyed. You're going to see throughout the video there's a lot of good feeds too. Then I get a couple 4 pieces or 3 pieces and then I also get a 5 piece, which gets kind of ruined, and you'll see kind of what happens. So right here absolutely melts, comes around, melts, and that guy, he wasn't one shot I don't think either. So I just leveled up the weapon, so now I got a suppressor, but the suppressor doesn't work. They need to do an update to it because it doesn't work in rapid fire mode, it only works in slow fire mode. So that's kind of broken at the moment, so I wouldn't use it unless you're gonna go in that slow fire mode only. So I get a shot in the back by a fire shotgun, and that's a theme a lot of times with this game. It creates a little inconsistency because shotguns are so easy to use. It does take a lot of skill to use them if you're going to go on long streaks. But in general, if someone's just using it and they're just kill, die, not streaking at all, not a very high skill weapon, but very good at ending streaks. So right now the score is still 0-0, and you can see how quick this gun melts, especially if all the shots go to the body. You're very accurate. You're not getting a headshot multiplier. You can absolutely just demolish people. So look at this little feed right here. I get 3 kills, get the little bouncing Betty thrown in there. I get another kill. Look at that. It's a 5 piece. And then look at how skillful this is. The guy doesn't even look like he's aiming at me. Shotgun kill. What an amazing player. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I got a frenzy kill. It's actually a 4 piece with the weapon and once with the bouncing Betty, so nothing crazy there. But you can see that the weapon can absolutely melt. You can get 4 or 5 piece with this, especially if you land your shots. This is a little bit further range. A little bit, maybe I should have burst fired a little bit more in that scenario, but you can see the weapon does handle itself pretty well, and what it really comes down to is the consistency. If you can be very consistent, lock onto target, hit him right in the body, not miss a shot. The weapon is actually able to compete very well. The problem is that's easier said than done. The weapon is a little bit harder to control, especially if you have difficulty controlling some of the more average weapons in recoil. This weapon is going to feel like it's completely broken, that it's almost unusable. And that's why not a lot of people are liking it, because it is very high skill gun to actually make sure you land those shots. You got to be pinpoint accurate and be able to predict that recoil that is random. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. How do you feel about this weapon? And I'd also like your suggestions on future best class setup videos on which gun you'd like to see featured in the next video. Also, if you're enjoying the video, remember to hit that like button. I would love to hit 100 likes if you can. And if you're still watching, you should probably subscribe if you haven't already, or to explain what the channel comes along with and how often I upload and all that stuff. So hopefully you're enjoying that and want to subscribe with notifications on. So right here, I'm still just kind of navigating the map, playing smart. We're up 3-0, and then we just kind of play the ball out. Like the guy comes over here, good hip fire. I end up hitting him a few times before it comes around. I am using armored, which is really good for gridiron just because you get that built-in FMJ, which allows you to melt the ball carrier like as if they didn't even have the ball and get that ball shielding. So right here, I'm just kind of holding the line. Before I actually push, you got to make sure that your timing on your push is very deliberate. Because a lot of times what people do is they ask, okay, well, how do I know when to push? How do I know when to hold back? How do I know to move around the map? Right here, it looks like a lot's going on. So I got to re-rotate back to where my teammates are. I take this guy out, and now it looks like there's a couple of us on this right side. Teammate's about to grab the ball, and then I come around the right side because I want to go through the dock so that we can actually make a full right push, and then that'll allow us to better gain control of the map. Looks like the teammate died over there with the ball, so I go up and push a little bit closer because I do want to cut them off on this right side so it can clear up for my teammates. And right here, I'm just kind of waiting. Because a lot of times you don't want to fire at the first guy you see because you want to be able to take advantage of the situation. So right here, once I get a little good feel for the situation, I know where people are at. I decide, okay, I'm going to avoid that guy. I'm going to push around this side, and then I'm going to take the guy out with the ball. I'm getting my firebombing run. I'm really close to the streak. You can see right here, I'm just kind of navigating through the map. It looks like we're pretty clear on this side. Destroy that guy, and then I'm go ahead and map that dude. I would say map it because that range is probably the furthest you want to actually get an engagement with this weapon. And then right here, I get absolutely melted. I think some frame skips or something like that, but I get insta melted. It's almost like super bullets. I didn't even get hit markers almost on the guy before I get destroyed. So that might be a little bit of a connection issue, but at the end of the day, you can see how the weapon's performing. My paratroopers are going off. I'm calling it a firebombing run to cut off this particular angle. And because I chose that specific angle, I'm going to be cutting off the dock spawns. And where I place my paratroopers, it should allow them to do a mini spawn trap, which will allow my teammates to push forward, gain that map control, and then kind of control the situation. Right now, it looks like they're kind of rushing ahead. So I do got to try and take them out. This guy ends up running around with Mountain. You can see they're still running through my fire, kind of where they're choked off. I'm getting some more kills with this actual weapon. And then I'm kind of waiting it out right here. I see another guy spawn. We don't have map control. The idea behind the way I set up that actual firebombing run with the paratroopers should have gave us map control, but it doesn't look like our teammates are actually pushing and getting kills. There's a lot of them dying, and they're ending up back in spawn. And then I decide, okay, now I can push up this left side. There it was a strong push towards mid, and then I rotate back around because the ball is on this side, and I want to stop the ball from getting scored. So what I got to do is rotate back around over here, look at the mini-map closely, see where people are at. I know my gun skill is better than most of my teammates, so I'm really kind of just protecting the ball. Right now at this point, we're up on the score. They have to score twice to match our score, or at least to tie it. So now we're just kind of playing defensive game because at this point, we don't need to cap out. If you want the match to end really quick, you'd cap out. But you want to really control the positioning. Right here, melt that guy, come around. I have to pick up another gun because I only have one magazine left, only 43 bullets. And that is a problem with this specific gun if you're not going to be running forage or be running expeditionary. So something to consider if you think you're going to be short on your streak. But only 57 seconds left. Just kind of playing it out, looking where people are going to come through. I do pick up a PPSH because I know I want to be able to get somebody if I do run out of ammo. So already on a 15 streak, a couple different long streaks in this game, and then just kind of focusing on where I'm going to focus my efforts. Overall, like I said, this gun is not an overpowered gun. It's barely an okay SMG. I don't think people will really be using it, but it does have that melt potential if you have it at the fast fire rate and you hit everyone right in the body. So So that's kind of what you want to consider as you play the match. It ends up being kind of funky right here. There's guys in weird spots, but I'm able to use this guy's PPSH and kind of take him out, and then kind of reposition to this right side, and that's pretty much the match. So go ahead and remember to leave a comment down below. Hit that like button so we can get to that goal of 100 likes if all possible. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on. I do appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving on the channel. It has been growing at an amazing rate, and that's because all the help you guys do down in the comment section and liking the videos. Thank you guys for watching. As always, have a great day.